All right. Welcome everyone. We'll wait a couple of minutes probably to make sure that everyone who registered has a chance to join, and then we'll get started. Feel free to share in the chat where you are zooming in from. We can get an idea. We are based in Seattle. I don't know who's joining from farthest from us. Alberta's pretty good. LA, West Coast. All right, let's wait one more minute and then we'll get started. Let's see. All right, in a couple of minutes, let's go ahead and get started. Ooh, Idaho, cool. All right. So I am screen sharing, I believe. Sorry, bear with me for a second. All right. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us today. This is the last of our summer series that we've been doing, focused on sales and how to use Read AI for sales or, customer-facing teams. So, to anyone who has been following along, welcome back. If you've been missing the previous ones and you're just now joining us, totally fine. You can always catch the recordings in our YouTube channel or our newsletter. Today, we're going to be talking about Ask Read, how to leverage it so you can manage your book of business basically in a more efficient way. We have two guests today that will be joining us, Megan and Kelly. They are from our sales teams and from our CS team, and they will be sharing real examples of, how they use Ask Read on a daily basis. If you are joining from, if you're in front of your computer or if you have our mobile app installed in your phone, you can do some of the searches that they will be sharing in real time with us. And we would love it if you could then share in the chat kind of what kind of results you're getting, if it's what you expected to get, if it's a little bit off, anything like that. Um, so I'll introduce him right away. First, I'm excited to introduce Megan Gibson. Megan has been absolutely dominating our sales team. She has been hitting 136% of quota and driven over 200K in revenue. Incredibly, she has closed deals for 19 consecutive weeks. She's known for building strong pipelines, winning competitive deals, and bringing a repeatable, high-performing sales motion that has had a real impact in our growth. Welcome, Megan. And next, I'm excited to introduce Kelly Gorell. Kelly plays a really critical role in driving account expansion and growth in our CS team. She partners closely with customers to scale usage across organizations. She has led efforts to grow enterprise accounts while supporting onboarding, renewals, trial conversions. All of it directly impacts her revenue. She recently tripled the size of one of her accounts and doubled another. She truly is exceptional at turning momentum into meaningful, lasting growth. Welcome, Kelly, as well.
Thank you, Sam.
Yeah. Our goal with today's webinar is to help you spend less time searching and more time making decisions so you can stay on top of your pipeline, take action faster, manage your accounts with confidence. So ultimately, this is all about turning your customer conversations into clear, usable insights that help you prioritize what matters and keep business moving forward. Um, let's get started with, for those of you who might not be as familiar with it, what Ask Read is. Let me share my screen again. All right. So, is it, can you see my screen?
Hasn't shared yet.
Okay. Hmm. Let me try that again. Bear with me for 1 second. All right, let's try this instead. All right, there you go. So Ask is essentially a search engine. It helps you find what you know, discover what you don't. It covers answers, updates, insights you might have missed, and surfaces the more relevant information from meetings, document, emails, messages, everything that you have connected to Read. Um, It's in your Read account, and it basically solves for having a ton of information that's scattered everywhere, and it's information overload, especially this day and age. It saves you a lot of time that you would otherwise spend searching for, like, what was that keyword that we mentioned in this meeting, or what did we agreed? It also solves for silent insights when you have different isolated platforms. Read connects it, and you can then access knowledge from all of them through Ask Read. There are several actions that you can do, and we'll dig into that a little bit more with Megan and Kelly's real life examples. So let's jump right in. We'll get started with this prompt from Megan.
Yes. So this is a prompt that I use every single day. Give me an update of everything I've discussed with this company to help me prepare for our demo. So this For just one example, if I had a first call with a customer, 3 weeks ago, and now I'm prepping for a second call, prior to Ask Read or prior to even being at Read, I would have had to go through my CRM, go through all of our emails, try to figure out, okay, what exactly happened in our last meeting, rewatch the recording by chance. But that is definitely not the case anymore. So I'll actually show an example of how I do it now. So this example is just a discovery call that had previously happened. So instead of me even like going through all of this, I can quickly browse it. But all I'm going to do is ask Read, give me an update from this call to help me prepare for our next demo. So as quick as that, and it's pulling in information specifically from this call. It can also pull in information from email conversations that I've had with them. If I've had multiple calls with a specific company, it can pull in information from all of those calls. So here I'm able to just see exactly what did we talk about, gives me my prep for the call, what happened last time, biggest risk to address. Um, what, the pilot plan was that we discussed last time, and especially like what to emphasize in the next demo. So this taking 30 seconds compared to previously at probably 10 to 15 minutes prepping for each call has been a real game changer for me, definitely.
Awesome. Again, those of you who do have your screen near you, give it a try. Try this prompt. And let's move to another example. This one is from Kelly.
Awesome. Thank you, Sam. So I would say from a customer success perspective, what I really care about in my day-to-day is just staying ahead of any risk, when it comes to managing my accounts and just making sure that nothing falls through the cracks. So using Ask Read has been incredibly helpful for just managing, my customers in that way. But kind of echoing what Sam and Megan was saying is the reality is our information is spread across a million different places.
it does not live neatly in one place. So that's where Ask Read comes in to my day to day and is just incredibly helpful. So instead of me needing to search through all of my Slack messages or my emails or even just my own private notes, I can have all of my information packaged up in one great place. So on a typical day, being on the customer success team, I'll use Read to quickly get up to speed on an account I'm working on. Again, not needing to dig through everything and read what's going on with that account. So for example, I'll ask Reed a question like, what's the latest risk or concern with a specific customer? Within seconds, I'll get a clear picture or a clear response of what is actually going on with that account. It's going to provide me information such as any blockers that this customer has maybe mentioned to me, maybe any product feature requests that they have, or maybe any product feature issues that they've flagged. If there's any payment issues going on, any roadmap questions, anything like that, Ask Read is going to provide me with a really clear picture of what's going on with this customer and anything that should be top of mind for me for that particular day.
Yeah, that is definitely super helpful in just keeping those different threads that you're handling on a day-to-day straight so that you're not, mixing up information. Shown in here is the folders tab because you can access Ask Read from within a folder. And then that focuses it, like it basically points it at that folder. So if you have like a customer folder and you want to get information about that specific customer, you can access it that way. The next one is from Megan.
Yeah. I think all sales reps know that CRM management is one of the most important parts of our job. So luckily, Reed does have direct integrations with HubSpot and Salesforce. So within our CRM, we use HubSpot. I am able to actually just ask Reed, for example, what deals do I currently have that are stalled and am at risk to lose? So this is going to tell me, hey, I haven't reached out to this company in over a week. The last email might not have been a great follow-up from them, so maybe reach back out. Um, or as well as what outstanding next steps do I have for my current open deals. So it's pulling from, once again, all the information, the emails I've sent to them, the meetings that I have with them. In all of my meetings, I try to set next steps for what the goal is with that specific customer. So whether that's, setting up another call or sending a follow-up email, Asprey is able to keep track of all those for me so that I don't have to specifically remember each one. So one way I'm using this is just at the end of the day, what outstanding next steps do I have for my current deals? That way I can make sure I've touched all of my deals. And I think once again, as a sales rep, another most important thing is how you follow up with your customers and your prospects. And this just makes it so much easier to keep track of all my follow-ups and make sure that I'm sending them all the right information as well. And I think Kelly and I will both touch on that a little later also, is that Reed can also help with sending that information that is also a complete game changer.
Yeah.
Awesome. So another huge part of my job being on the CS team is account planning and account renewals. So it's a big part of my job to make sure that my customers are not only happy while they're using Read, but I want them to continue using Read year over year. So I'll use Ask Read every time I have an account renewal coming up. And one of the questions I'll ask is, something like, what has this customer said about any value or challenges over the past 30 days while using Read? You can expand that window to the past year, 2 years, 10 days, whatever you want that to be. And I'll also ask if there are any signs of churn or any signs of risk with this customer. This will really help me get ahead of any renewal conversations that I'm going to have with the customer. As much as we are very present every time we're speaking with our customers, there's just a lot to remember and a lot of different conversations that we have. So once I ask Reed a prompt like this with a specific customer of mine, it's going to pull in information such as any issues that they have brought up, maybe that they have with a specific feature or just the product in general. It will also mention if they've told me about any, value that they get out of Reed, maybe why they love using Reed versus using a specific competitor product, and what it is about Reed that they like. It will also bring up if there's any pending questions that maybe I haven't answered. So it's going to remind me that I need to get back to them about a specific question that they might have. And another really important and awesome thing that I think Ask Read can do here, which Megan also mentioned, is it can tell me when the last time was that I interacted with this customer. So it might flag to me that I haven't spoken with them over the last 30 days, which that right there to me would be a red flag that I need to reach out and get conversations moving forward with this customer. So as far as renewals go, Ask Read has been very, very, very helpful to stay on track and stay on top of all of those discussions.
I can definitely echo that. Just having a backup for your memory, especially when you have like a pretty large book of business and you're several accounts and different dates and whatnot. It's really good to have that reminder of like, hey, you haven't touched base here before. So, yeah, I totally echo what Kelly's saying. Let's pause before we jump into this one for a moment and see if anyone has tried any of these prompts so far. If you have, please put it in the chat. Just kind of your thoughts. Did it work? Did it serve as good information? Was it what you expected? We'll give it a couple of minutes there, maybe a minute.
Yeah, I would also love to hear if there's any other sales reps on the call. What can you see like Ask Reed being able to help you with? If there's any questions you would want it to be able to answer for you.
Yeah. Or any questions you have about the prompts that we've been showing so far, send them over as well. While we're waiting for questions or comments to come in, just to reiterate, as you can see in the screenshot, this is Ask Read from within a meeting report. So you can access it from a folder, from within a meeting report. You can access it from its homepage as well, just the main Ask Read tab on the left. Um, Basically, because it is where you are, it is where you're working. Let's see. Can you share your search results with other people? For example, if you're transitioning an account to someone. Oh, great question. Kelly, do you want to tackle that? Or Megan, maybe too, if you're doing like a handoff?
Yep, I use this all the time and I share my responses all the time. So, yes, you can share. Within Ask Read, there's a little, I would call it like a paper clip that you can use to copy your response, and it can send them directly to that link. You can also just copy and paste the text that you're using, but you can absolutely share your question with them and the results that your Ask Read provides you.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think this is especially helpful. I know I do it all the time when I'm handing off a customer to you all after I've completed the sales cycle and sending it to my CS team. So just asking it to give me an overall update and what I think that they should know makes it so much quicker to hand it off to you all.
Yeah.
Another use case for sharing is if let's say Megan and I were partnering together on a customer call and I have all the background knowledge on the specific call and I want Megan to join the call, from a sales perspective, instead of me sitting there and putting together really extensive notes about every detail about this customer account, I can have Ask Read help me there and then I can just share that with Megan. And it will honestly give her a more thorough response than something I would have typed up on my own. So it's really helpful to share the search results.
Awesome. All right, well, let's keep going. Let's talk about this meeting follow-up.
Great. I can kick this one off from a CS perspective. So using the meeting follow-up is extremely helpful, obviously, after customer calls. So I'll use it kind of like what Megan was mentioning earlier to pull out maybe action items that I have following the call or to remind me of any key decisions that were made. Did I commit to anything during this call that maybe I don't remember that I committed to? And then from there, what I'll do is I'll use Ask Read to help me draft my follow-up email. So before I used to, take ample amount of time after a customer call to review everything we discussed and then take the time to write out those emails and make sure everything was thoroughly addressed. Now it takes seconds because Ask Read can write the entire email for me. So instead of needing to start from scratch, I can generate a really clear, well-structured email that I can, quickly review and then send it off, which saves me so much time. So a prompt that I like to use a lot when I'm starting to draft these are what action items came out of this meeting so that I can know exactly what does Kelly need to focus on? What do I need to follow up with them on? What's next to move this conversation along? Um, and it's been extremely helpful and very time saving on my part.
Yeah, I'll just echo that. Um, I am using it very much in the same way. I think this may actually be my most used prompt ever within Ask Read because I'm using it multiple times a day, every day. And I think I probably speak for a lot of sales reps that follow-ups are some of the most time-consuming thing that you are doing within your deals. So same as Kelly prior, I would be having to go back through, okay, what did I need to send them? What action items? Let me recap our discussion. And now it is just so simple. And once again, I'll kind of give you an idea of how quickly it can happen. So we're back to this discovery call. All I would be typing in after this is write me a follow-up email to send to this prospect with action items and next steps. Um, and that's going to prompt an email for me to send. So I know when I'm in 6 meetings a day with all different prospects, instead of spending an hour, hour and a half at the end of my day writing all of these follow-up emails, this just kicked it off in about 15 seconds. And then obviously I'll go through, add any materials that I need to add, or maybe make it a little bit more in my tone. But this, I think, was the game changer for me with Ask Read. It just the way that it speeds up my day to day so much and gives me more time to focus on more calls and helping my prospects move forward is just a game changer for me.
And Megan, if there were things that, for example, you were like on, for example, a proposed plan, if there was anything in there that you wanted to tweak or anything like that, can you iterate? Like, can you ask Reed to modify things and adjust it? And
Yeah, exactly. So from this one, if I wanted to just say get rid of the proposed plan, I can do that and it'll update it. Or another way you can use it is maybe people prefer more paragraph formatting over bullet points. You can have it right in that point of view instead. So there's a lot of way to edit it to make it more true to your tone and style.
mm,
And once again, here's the links Kelly was talking about, just being able to quickly copy the answer, copy the link, so I can just paste it straight into an email rather than having to retype it out.
yeah. Um, so Ask Read is able to send emails for you directly. Another thing that you can do with it, one of the other actions that I showed at the beginning, is you can also ask it to do automated searches. For example, if you're working in, I don't know, the healthcare sector and you want to get kind of like a summary of any new published papers about this specific subject or this specific product or something like that, you can ask Read to look at the web and focus on several sources, for example, or like make sure that they're just validated sources or they're recognized, whatever, and give you a summary of any news that pop up in that during that week about that topic. It can do that for you as well. So it's really good to manage your book of business as well as kind of supplement information that you're getting about the business that you're in that you can then use to inform your conversations with your customers and clients. Um, we're almost at time. Are there any questions? Or I'm curious if anyone has tried the prompts that we did right now live. If you have, please pop it in the chat. Give it a few more seconds, maybe. If you weren't able to try them right now during the call, I definitely encourage you to try at least one of those prompts today before the day is over and see what you think. I think we have all found here working at Reed that that's when the magic happens, when you actually ask it on your data and on your prospects and clients and seeing the content that it can surface for you. That's when when the value really becomes more evident. So if you didn't have a chance to do it right now live with us, do it today before the day is over and see what you think.
Yeah, I think I tell all of my prospective customers on calls, it really can do so much, and sometimes I don't even realize how much it can do. So I always just say, just like if you have a question, throw it in there and see what shows up because you're gonna probably end up adding that into your just daily rhythm.
Yeah. All right. It looks like there are no questions, so we can just wrap up. Thank you, Megan and Kelly, so much for walking us through this and sharing some of your examples. If any of our attendees have questions later on, you can always contact support. We'll be happy to address them that way. Um, Next month, save the date, we are diving into how to capture any type of meeting, regardless of the format or the platform, to keep your institutional knowledge complete and up to date. Keep an eye out for our newsletter for the registration link there and invite your teammates as well. So now, the moment that we've been waiting for, the winner of 1 free year of Read, it's going to be Read Enterprise, is Edwin Pulido. Congratulations, Edwin. We'll be following up with you to set you up with your free year of Read Enterprise, and you'll get to experience all those premium features. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Hope that you learned something useful. Have a good day.
Thank you so much.
Everyone.
Bye.